Young men and young women out there intending to get married, you have a very good intention. It is a very welcome intention indeed. Today, allow me to talk about the reasons why people enter into marriage, the reasons why people plan to get into marriage. There are good reasons out there, and there are also the not so good reasons. So today I'm classifying them into those two groups, the good reasons and the not so good reasons. And I'm going to just take a very short while to explain these two categories. I am Eldam Juru, and I want to welcome you to my channel where I talk about love, courtship, and marriage. And the intention of this channel is so that together we can add a voice to the creation of marriages, happy marriages, marriages in which people love one another, and marriages that are lasting marriages. So if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below. I am waiting for that. And also make sure that you click the like button and you share this video with friends so that we can spread this message to many people out there, right to the business of the day. Reason number one why people get into marriage. Remember, I'm starting with the not so good reasons. There's just a couple of them, and then I switch on to the good reasons. So make sure that you watch the whole video so that you benefit from these two categories and you can make your choice. The reason number one is people enter into marriage because of beauty and attraction. Many marriages are come about because a young man met a beautiful young lady out there. A young lady met an attractive young man out there. Even for the older people, beauty still counts. Attraction still counts. This is a very good reason why people must enter into a marriage. Otherwise, if you enter into a marriage with somebody who is not attractive to you, with somebody who is not beautiful in your eyes, you will give us problems sooner than later, because you are starting to throw your eyes all over once again. So we want you to get a beautiful woman. We want you to get an attractive young man. Settle down with that particular person. Forget about everybody else and concentrate on building your marriage. Concentrate on building your family. But on its own, this reason we are saying it is not good enough. It must come up with a package, as part of a package with other reasons. So we get to reason number two. Reason number two is peer pressure and family pressure. There are certain ages where when you reach a certain age, people start talking. People start poking at you and people start saying things. You must get married. You are the only one who is not yet get married. Can't you see all your other friends? Can't you see your other relatives? So and so forth. And that can put pressure on you to get married. But my advice today is do not bow to that pressure if you are not yet ready for it. It is good to have relatives and friends who will push you into marriage. But if you are not yet ready for it, probably you are still pursuing a career. Probably you have other reasons why you think it is not the right time. The final decision must rest with you. The next one of the not so good reasons is you need a helper in life. You need a helper. People get into marriage because they now need a helper. Probably you have moved out of the family house. You feel you're now old enough. You feel you are now working. You are pursuing your business and so forth. And you now want to stay on your own. But sooner or later, you realize that you can't handle everything in your life and you need a helper. Some stuff needs a woman. Some stuff needs a man. And you decide to get married. Very good reason. But on its own, it cannot stand. It must come as a package with other reasons. The next one, number four, is childbearing. And this particular one is for the young women out there. Young women tend to get so attracted, especially the first baby. When you see the girl next door, when you see the woman across the road, when you see that other woman you meet at church and she now has a baby, it looks so attractive. There is something that attracts about the first child. And so you also want to have your own child. You also want to have your own baby. A very good reason. But on its own, you can have a baby and then what next? It needs to come as a package together with other reasons. The next one, number 5, is inspiration. Inspiration from a couple that you see in church, inspiration from a couple that you see down the road. There are some people who carry themselves so gracefully, you like it. You would want to be like Mrs. So and so and her husband. You would want to be like Mr. So and so and his wife. A very, very good reason, but must also come as part of a package with other reasons. Love for wealth and substance. There are that other class of people who will go for marriage because they want to be up there. They will go for marriage because they want a man who can just marry them, and the next day they must be driving down the road in a good car. They must be living in that big house, that big dream house of theirs. And so they will go for whatever man who has the substance. This is the reason why we end up having young ladies getting married to old women, old men who are much, much older than them. I was reading a very sad story, a young girl narrating how she got a divorce. She says, I got a divorce because we agreed with my husband, because our relationship didn't work, because my husband and I were kind of father and daughter. Our relationship was a father and daughter relationship because he was much, much older, so it did not work. You don't want to be in that kind of situation. Unfortunately, it's not only the young girls these days, it's also the young men as well who are going for much older women who have substance. We are not saying don't do it, but we are simply advising to say, if you want a lasting arrangement, if you want a lasting marriage, a happy marriage, then let the age range be not so far away from from one another. You want a woman, you want a man who is close in terms of age to you, and then your love will flow. Your conversations will flow. You easily agree on things. You view things the same way, and so forth. The good reasons. Reason number 1 is Genesis 1 verse 27. God created man and he created a woman. He created a man and he created a woman. And Genesis 2 verse 22, God then took the woman and handed her over to the man. I like that. When I read it, I really enjoyed it, that God handed over the woman to the man. So there is nothing wrong with a woman being handed over to a man. You need to be handed over to a man one of these days. So marriage was ordained of God. Genesis 2 verse 24 then says, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cling to his wife, and the two shall become one. So marriage was ordained of God. Reason number 2 of the good reasons is procreation. We expect children. Expect children when you get married. There will be children that will come out of that marriage. So be ready for it. Let them not come out as a surprise. Let your children not be a burden when they come. Let them not be the cause of divorce. Let them not be the cause of problems. Children are a blessing from the Lord. So enter into marriage with this knowledge that there will be children that will come out of the marriage. Also, procreation, I want you to view it from the angle not only of producing children, but also you are recreating what God has always desired to see in his eyes. A person who is like you, a person who is like the image of God. So you want to bring up your children in a godly way. You want to bring up your children in the best way that you want. Many of us have good intentions concerning our children, but we do not put in the necessary input, or we end up not being the best of examples to our children. Two are better than one. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9. Two are better than one. That's my reason. Number 3. People enter into marriage because they need a partner, like I mentioned in the other point above. They need a partner. It is necessary to have a partner in life. Life is designed in such a way that you cannot do it alone. You cannot run the whole journey alone unless you are called to serve in the house of God in the same manner that the Apostle Paul was called. for the sake of the gospel, yes, then perhaps it is acceptable. But if you are not an apostle like Apostle Paul, then you need to get married, you need your wife, you need a husband, because you need somebody to lean on a certain day. You need somebody to enjoy with on a certain day. Somebody who will understand you. There are certain things that your mother cannot do for you, certain things that your father, certain things that your sister cannot do for you, certain things that you can discuss with your spouse. So two are better than one. Societal dignity. Society tends to ascribe certain dignity to a person that is married. There are certain situations where we prefer to work with somebody who is married in society. There are certain positions that we will give to somebody who is married. There are certain responsibilities that we will give to somebody who is married. Order and sanity also in society. Society ought to be orderly. There is a certain level of sanity that must prevail in society. And order and sanity can only prevail in a society where we have working marriages that are stable. This is very, very clear in those societies. If you go out there into societies where crime is high, societies in which immorality is high, you will discover that those societies, it is because the institution of marriage is not working as well as it ought to be working. So there is a certain level of order and sanity in society that is brought about by working marriages. Enter into your marriage with knowledge of all these reasons. Enter into your marriage with a commitment to be a part of the fulfillment of these societal expectations, family expectations. Thank you very much. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, once again, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also click the like button and share this video with others. Drop your comments in the comment section below. I want to hear what you think about the reasons why people enter into marriage. I want